Is one O'Leary Ventures chairman Kevin O'Leary is helming with billionaire Frank McCourt. Kevin's here live in studio. Where does your bid stand? Let's just cut to the chase.
It's still there, and as far as I know, the only official one handed over to shareholders, American shareholders, of ByteDance months ago, and the only one that has been consistently saying we do not want to buy the algorithm because we know it's never going to be for sale. And so let me just set the table for where we're at on this whole situation. If you're a ByteDance shareholder right now, worldwide.
Parent of TikTok.
Parent of TikTok, very important. This is not a big asset for you. It's less than 10%. And if you're Xi, this is a bargaining chip in the overall discussions you're having with Trump. If it goes dark, he doesn't really care. And frankly, it's not really going to hurt the overall market capitalization of ByteDance globally. It's a small fraction of it. So we don't have that much leverage, or no buying group does, because if it's going to be the existing shareholders in the United States, even if it goes to zero for them, it doesn't really matter. So now you start to ask yourself, why is it there can't be a further extension? Which would be easy, because Trump is not going to be finished negotiating with China on September 17th. No way that's going to happen. There's so many different issues beyond just trade and tariffs. There's IP theft, there's access to markets, there were WTO problems, Chinese access to our capital markets. There's a zillion things. So we're not going to get there by that date. Will a date be extended? Probably not, and Ludnick said the right thing, because the pressure now from the lawmakers that wrote this law, that have gone through these multiple extensions, I think they've had enough.
It is a bipartisan bill that was passed into law. Both sides were very concerned about Americans' data being used in this Chinese website and this platform, and who knows what kind of discord they have been trying to push here in the United States to divide Americans. But that said, I mean, is the president at some point flouting law by not letting it come to its focused point, which is divest or be banned?
You know, Liz, you're making a very valid point. I just think in the context of all the issues that the president's dealing with now, there was a time when TikTok was important. I'd say it's at the bottom of the list right now. So the probability of this thing getting a fourth extension, I would say, is less than 10%. Now, that doesn't mean it can't go dark, as it did once already, and then let the bidders still bid. But, you know, the value, the dispersion of the accounts, the 172 million accounts, and more important for me as an advocate of small business, is the 7 million businesses that make their living on this. They're going to go to alternate platforms, slowly but surely, so the value will diminish. This is going to get really interesting, and it's going to happen pretty quickly. But if you had asked me 2 weeks ago, was a fourth extension likely, I would have said yes, because it could have been bundled as a story around finishing off with China, which could take well till way after the midterms.
And now?
And now, Senator Cotton, Rick Scott, Ron Johnson.
These are Republicans.
And they're just saying the law is the law, and it's time to pull the plug. Because is it spyware? Yes, it is. And so we can't have everybody running around with this spyware on their phones. Let's fix it. Let's make it an American product, which McCourt and I have said we would do from the beginning. Nobody knows what's going to happen, Liz. This is the craziest deal I've ever seen. But we've kept our syndicate intact in debt and equity. Everybody's waiting to see what happens next. Everybody has an opinion, but only the president and Xi can decide, because as of right now, Xi has not decided to sell it, and he is in ultimate control of it. If he makes it part of a package, we may have to do a deal in 48 hours.
TikTok, according to a tech publication, the information is launching its new version of an app for U.S. users that they claim will launch September 5th. The tentative name is M2. You heard anything about this?
Let me tell you the probability that solves the spyware issue. Zero. There's not a chance you can let the guys that wrote the spyware write the new spyware. What, are we all idiots? I mean, you think Congress is going to buy that? Zero probability that works.
Zero.
I would have tried it, and they have. Zero probability that works. That's like a Trojan horse rolling in. You don't like that spyware? How about this spyware? I mean, that's crazy. That's not going to work. So obviously that is not a solution.
They get chutzpah points.
I love it for them, and this is why I love the deal. It's complete madness all the time. But everybody knows that wasn't going to work, but you have to give them 3 cheers for trying.
China right now in talks with the U.S., with Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent in Stockholm, Sweden, talking about how they firm up an actual longer-term deal. We're looking a lot, because a lot of our viewers own semiconductor stocks, at that piece of it. NVIDIA right now is hitting another record high. If you ask Jensen Huang, the CEO, he feels that the American tech stack should be the absolute standard globally, and it puts us in a great position. However, do we really want certain pieces of that tech stack going to our adversaries so that they can then turn around and use them in military products? I mean, what is a realistic deal when it comes to semiconductors with China?
2 to 3 generations back to everybody, not just China, every single adversary, whether it's Russia, North Korea, and I'll tell you why. Jensen's right. It's not just the chip. It's all the energy and money and billions of dollars of programming time that support the stack through the firmware and software written around it. The analogy is the chip is the queen bee, and all of the honeybees that make the honey, that's the programming, always stick with one queen bee. They don't want to relearn the DNA of the hive. They stick around the queen. What he's doing is making sure that everybody is, instead of inventing their own queen bees in China, which would be the Huawei chips, we don't want the Huawei chips filling in every void where he can't sell.
Do we give them the farm? Do we give them the best of the best?
No. You keep them back. I would have kept them back 1 gen, because what's happening now, right now they're back 3 gen, 2 and 3 gens back. I think that the company should lobby for just 1 gen back, because then there's enough juice for them to make good honey, but not enough to win wars. This is about defense. The best AI in the military is going to win wars with robots just 20 years from now.
We got 30 seconds. Do you always wear 2 watches?
These are the 2 watches that have become movie stars in the movie Marty Supreme, coming out Christmas Day.
Hold on.
I'm in the movie with Gwyneth Paltrow and
Gwyneth Paltrow. She plays your wife?
She's unfaithful. It's over between us, let me tell you. And Timothy Chalamet might have been involved in what that unfaithfulness is, right in the middle of Central Park. It's so nasty, I can't believe it. But I'm the richest guy in America in 1952, as it should be, Liz, as it should be.
I couldn't agree more.
And I'm not a nice guy. Oh, my goodness, I think I was able to play that role quite well.
A Canadian as well. Good to see you. Thank you so much.
Take care, thank you.
Kevin O'Leary.